This conference will now be recorded.
So in the last session, we have worked till we have did some what do you call some shell scripting. So to recap a few things, so this is important thing I want to recap. This is the one. So we will get numbers of arguments. We can use command line arguments. Command line arguments. We can access command line arguments in a in a script file using following way. Okay. One moment, please. Good morning, Revanti. Hua. So here
Madan.
it will hi hi. So it will give the zero, the argument zero. When you say, it will give script file name, the first one, and the one first argument value, that it too is second argument value, like that. If you take example, this one for example. So this is a small program. Here you see the syntax in shell scripting. See, for Java, for C Sharp, for Python, for Angular, for React, we have various different types of languages available. Go language, many are there. So every language have their own syntaxes. C language, C++, if different languages are there. So if you take the same example, if you take a C example for C language, the same statement you can write A plus B, something like that, right? A plus B, or if you are using arguments, then they will say arcs of zero, something like they do. So it is depending on language to language. It is depending on language to language. So here in self scripting also, in shell scripting also, so first argument, if you want to retrieve, then you have to say $1. $1, you see here carefully, 588 line. First argument value you will get. Plus $2, when you say, you will get second argument value. So these both numbers will be added. See here this is a file name or script name, and this is argument 1 and this is argument 2. So if you want to get this value itself, the complete file name itself, then you can use, you can say simply here, if I say here echo, if I say echo, what do you call this, in double quotation, if I say dollar zero, if I say like this, no, what dollar zero means, you see here, it will it will give script file name. So if you want to display the script file name itself, after when you run this command, how you run the command, like this. Sorry, here I should say sh you have to say like this. If you say sh command line, the file name and the argument, then you see carefully here. If you say echo $0, if you say $0, means what, it will give script file name. This file name will be displayed. And next is, you see here, $1, $2. $1 gives first argument value. First argument is not this one. This is the first argument, and this is the second argument. So both values we are adding. After adding, again this should be in one bracket, and total should be in another bracket. So the total value 300 will be stored automatically in a variable called result. But in C language, or if you take any other language, normally you should say, we have to declare what is the kind of value it is going to store. If it is going to store integer value, then they will say int, something like that. When you say they int, even Java also they will say int. Even in C Sharp also they will say int. I believe in Java maybe they're saying integer maybe, but in short int they will say. So, but in shell script, no need to specify what type of value it is going to store. It's a variable. This is a variable actually. So no need to go that depth, but still, so variable means what, is nothing, simply a location will be stored, a location will be created automatically in the hard disk, somewhere in the hard disk, and this location will have some address, something like 0x, some value it will be there, some address will be there. Okay, this is address. Now your variable result, I am saying, no, the result will the result also stored somewhere. This result location name is what do you call, this is your result. This is a result, and this result will be pointing to this location. These variables normally. Okay, so and So the result contains what? Result contains the address. Actually, this address it contains. Okay, it contains the address. So result stores the address. So the this area contains what? It contains the value 300. So if you go to the program again, so $1 $2 means 100 will be stored. A temporary address will be created automatically by the Linux system. Linux operating system will create an address immediately, and it will add the total 300 inside it. It will add the value 300 inside it, and result is pointing to that address, that location. So whenever you say programmatically, when you say echo sum is dollar result, when you say dollar result, automatically what happens? It will refer to this location, and the value inside this address, that is 300. That value 300 will be displayed. So but that much level not required to understand, but internally this is what happening. So in short, or else in short, you can think like this: 1 and 2, value 1 and 2 are added, and the value is stored in result. And to get the value output, then you have to say dollar result, right? That is about the. I want to recap these few things actually. So when you say star, then all arguments will come, all arguments will be printed. Now if statement we saw on that day. So if a condition, then statements, else statements, and if statement should be closed with fi. So here you see, enter your name. A name is, you enter a name. So read is a shell script, uh, one existing function. It's another existing function. Function is what? It's a api. You can think it is a api. It is already written by this bash shell script. So what this will do, it will store the value automatically. That means when you enter your name, the name will automatically stored in the name variable. Exactly, again, name is not, name is a, what? Something like result. The name will be result, and the value whatever you enter will be stored somewhere in the memory, and that name variable referring to that memory location. Okay, so that is the meaning of read and name. So whenever you enter some name, immediately what happens? Whatever you enter the new name, a memory will be created. In that your name will be stored, and the name, the address of this location will be stored in the name variable. Okay, so whenever wherever you use this name value, so when you say dollar name, whenever you say dollar name, immediately what happens? Internally it will refer that address, and it will fetch that value inside that memory location. So here the value, whatever value we stored, that value will be displayed. To get it displayed, what you have to do? Dollar name. But when you're reading it, no dollar is required. It will store the value. Here also you see carefully. Here also I'm saying, I'm not saying dollar result, I'm saying just result, that's all. To store something, just variable name. But whenever you want to fetch the value, then you should say dollar result, like that. So this is the equal symbol, double equal you have to mention, and the value whatever you entered, both will compared, and basing on that, if the condition matches, then the if statement, first statement will be printed, else the second statement will be printed. This is what we checked on that day. And today we have another statement, that is, suppose I want to check whether the values are uh, greater than or less than, like that I want to check. I want to compare a variable, some values I want to compare, some integer values. Last time we checked what we call strings. Now we will check integer values. So we have a symbol called gt. Gt means greater than. Okay, greater than is the meaning of that. And similarly we have st as well, lesser than. Okay, one moment please. If you take example of gt, so if you want to write a program, for example, I want to write a program. So Shabang is not mandatory to write in the script. Shabang, I told you, just it will be helpful to the users. So your Linux users will, when they come to the script and when they see this name, they will understand that we are using which kind of scripting language. So we have multiple scripts we saw there on that day. So by seeing this, they understands that, okay, they are using bash scripting. So this dollar symbol means it, what does that mean? Dollar symbol means it's a comment. It's a comment. Comment means this line will not be executed. This line will not be executed by the shell script. Okay, so this will be ignored. This line will be ignored. Whenever you are trying to any comment, you can say like this, some dollar, and say, you can say, ask user, to enter a number. So this line will not be executed. Why? A dollar is mentioned over here. It's a comment. It's like a comment. In C language, different languages, they use different syntax actually. There they use something like some percentile, something they use. They write some comment, I think, and that way they do. But here, we don't do that. We will write hash symbol. Now here, for example, I want to ask user echo. Echo is a again another existing library. So what it will do, it will display the content whatever you writing over here onto the output console. So here I will say enter first number, then I want to read it, I want to store the value, so I will say number 1, and another, enter second number. And remember, whatever we learning shell scripting in real time, we use very rarely. Just to make you understand how to use it, I'm telling you, but in real time we will use Ansible tools and Terraform tools. So mostly we won't use shell scripting, but still, should have a having a knowledge is not bad. And then enter the value, that's number 2. Now I want to check whether both are greater than, or which is greater. So in a square bracket, you have to say, what do you call? You have, you know, right? How to fetch the value, dollar symbol, and number 1. Number 1 is greater than dollar number 2. See carefully. Number 1 is greater than number 2 is the condition we are checking. Normally in other language, what do you do? Is greater than or equal to something, we check like that, or greater than like that we check. But here it is somewhat different. And then if it is true, then what do you do? Echo. What do you say? Dollar number 1 is greater than number 2. That's all we do. Otherwise, what you do? If it is not greater than, then what you do? Else. So number 2 is greater than number 1. How to end it? F5. That's all. This is the this way you have to run. Okay. Let's try that. Whoever having some language, some already having some experience in programming, for them it is nothing. Very easy for them to understand. There are very basics. Who are new to programming, for them it looks like something different, but it's okay. It's okay because we are not going to use them in real time. Most of the time we'll be using mostly Ansible tool and Terraform, and those are very easy. Let's say something server. So meanwhile it is ready. Let's try to understand another example. Suppose I want to repeat same statements. For example, I want to repeat um, case 1. For example, need to display, for example, a word 10 times. Normally what do you do? Echo word something. I want to display the same word 10 times. Then what you do normally, you will use is you can simply say 10 times like that you can do, right? You can do like this, right? But if you do like this, the number of statements, each one is we call as a statement or instructions, we can say. So the number of instructions are repeating multiple times, and by this your script will increase, the length of the your script will be increased abnormally, right? So don't do that way. So for that we have to use we have a concept called loops. We have loops actually. Okay. uh, Loops, actually we have two types of loops. One is range based. Range based loop. So normally we use, that is we, in most of the language we have Pascal, C language, C++, any language you take, we have a loop called for loop. Okay? We have this loop mostly. If you know already other language, you can easily understand. And we have conditional based loop, like while. Okay? So using these two types of loops, we can we can use, we can repeat any statement or number of statements multiple times you can repeat it, the same statement. Okay, so for that, for example, the same statement above one, if I want to use a for loop, what I have to do? For example, using a for loop. Okay, so what, how can we do the same thing? So first of all, you can write, you make a practice of writing the shebang. We call this first time as a shebang, bin slash bash. And then what is syntax? Syntax means like no, the way how to use a statement. So for loop is a statement, how to use it, if you want to use it, how to use it. The for loop, first time you write for and open the bracket. Here you can write initial initial value and put a semicolon. Okay, you have to put a semicolon, and here a condition, you have to put a condition, again a semicolon, and then initial increment or decrement the initial value. Okay? That is a way you have to give. And then whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do, you have to write do. Do is a existing keyword do, and in the do, enter the statements, statement or statements. You can write as many you want. Then the do should be end with the done. That's all. This is a syntax you have to use. So by, if you understood this, then very simply what I can do is that, let's try that. Now same for loop, I'm saying initial value. So you can take any variable. Okay. One more thing, you have to put in double quotations. Sorry, in double brackets. You have to put this in double brackets. Okay. Every language have different syntaxes. For this also, it's have its own syntax. In double quotation, in double brackets, opening parenthesis, you should say, you can give any variable like count. Count equal to first count initial value. What is the count I want to increase? So my requirement is that this value I want to print 10 times. Okay, copy that. The condition part you forget for some time. Come here, do what you want to do. I want to print this statement 10 times, and done. That is okay, fine. So 10 times, right? So what I can do is count first time, you can say it as count equal to 1, close this. And next, what is that? Condition, right? Condition is what, how many times you want to print this statement. This statement should be printed 10 times. Okay, then you say count count should increased, count should be increased, right? So condition you keep is like this only. Now the count should be increased, right? It is initially one time it will be printed. The for will do what, it will count is 1, it checks the condition. If condition is true, then this statement will be printed. And then the condition should be incremented. incremented, so that again why we have to increment. If you increment only, then the condition again has to be passed. So what such condition, what we have to write? So for example, count less than 11, for example. If I say less than 11, I'll say, for example, and I will increment the count every time. For example, I will say count. How to increment? You can write count plus plus. It's same like our C language or C++. Now you check, you see, first time the for loop do what? It will check condition. Initial value it will check count equal to 1, okay, and it will check the condition. Is count 1 less than 11? Yes, it is less than 1. So immediately it will come down and it will print the value word. And next time it will go to the this third part, increment part, and here it will increment, and the count becomes 2 now. Then this time the for loop go to the condition part again. It won't go to the initial value part. This part it will go only first time. It will only go to first time. Okay, when incremented, it will go to check the condition. Now count is increased one from 1 to 2. 2 less than 11, yes, print it. And again it next time incremented 3, it becomes 3 now. Is 3 less than 11? Yes. Like that till it reaches 11. When it becomes 11, is 11 less than 11? False. It is false. Then the statement will not be executed and we will come out of the loop. Any questions? Please let me know. It's very simple, but for who don't have any coding experience, for them it may be confusing. But let me know. I will clarify it. Rajesh, are you comfortable?
Yeah, yeah, fine with me. I'm understand.
Nice. Who are Revanti? What about you? Others, please. Raswaraj.
It was
Yes,
fine.
brother. It's fine for me.
Okay, okay, nice. Okay, now let's try to write first example, that is vi. First one, what we did, greater than example, right? Greater than dot sh, some name you get, okay, gt dot sh. Insert mode, press I, insert mode. Then this is our program. Simply copy this. This is a program we wrote just now. Escape. Now sh gt dot sh. Enter first number, I'm entering 200. The second number I will enter 100. So 200 is greater than 100, right? So that way we can use any number. First number is 90 and second number is 100. So 100 is greater than 90, like that. Okay. Next one, for loop, right? For loop example 1 dot sh, insert mode. So this statement, this example, save it. How? WQ colon WQ, enter, and then sh for loop. You see word has printed 10 times. I want one dot, two dot, three dot, like that I want. How can we do? Very simple, right? Now in place of word, I want to see in insert mode. Go to insert mode. Where is your cursor? Come here. Now, as you know, initially count equal to 1, right? I want to put the value of the count. Then how can I fetch the value of count? That is dollar count. Okay, and I want to put a colon here. That's it. Now what happens? First one will print it word. Okay, and count increase. Next time it print, now count value is 2, so it will print as 2, 3, like that. Okay, simple. Escape. You see 1 2 3 4, the count is coming and word is printing. Okay, very simple. Now let's see how to print use a while loop. So The same thing, while loop is nothing, it is same like for loop only, but these parts, whatever the parts we write here, we write it is one location. But in while using while loop, what happens, we write in different parts. For example, initially what we will do, I will say using a while loop. Here what I will do, first of all, count equal to 1, right? The same thing is count equal to 1, enter, and then the while loop. The while loop, we will have only one part, that is the condition part. The while contains only the condition part, but whereas for loop contains all the three: initial, condition, incrementation, everything will be there. Okay, in the while loop, write the condition. So what is the condition? For example, you can write something like, no, if I, so dollar value, okay, dollar value one, sorry, dollar of I means, sorry, count. So count having 1 now, 1 less than, okay, less than, uh, less than 11, okay, less than 11, what I want to do, it's a square bracket. Here I have to use a square bracket. Okay, it's like a if statement. For if statement we have square brackets, right? Same thing for while also we have to use square brackets. Then close the square bracket. Okay, using a while loop, count equal to 1, while count, okay, less than or equal to 11, less than or equal to 11. Then I want to print, do what? Condition. I want to do what? Do echo, echo dollar count, and ending we should say done. But thing is that the other part, the increment part is not there. No, the increment part you have to write inside the do only. Here you have to write what next, what you echo, print it, and then what you have to do, let count plus. This is what you have to write. In the end you have to write a semicolon. So in while loop you should write like this. First count is 1. Is 1 less than or equal to 11? Yes, it is less than 11. Print it. Then count will be increased. When it is increased, then next time it count will have 2 less than or equal to 11. Yes, like that, till when it reaches 11, 11 also prints 11 less than or equal to 11. Yes, so then I will make it as 0. Now 10 less than or equal to 10. Yes, 10 also printed. Then it becomes 11. When it becomes 11, 11 less than equal to 10. No. So that's all. This is a small program. Let's try this. Vi file example dot sh, insert mode. Now let's run it. See, we got numbers 1 to 10. Or you can do it reverse also. For example, I want to write another example, while example 2. Okay, vi item while example 2. In this insert mode, the reverse order you can say, you can initially you can say something like insert mode, go to insert mode. Yeah, if you say it's 10, then you should understand the syntaxes and statements, existing statements, how to write instructions, how to write. If you know this, you can write any script, no problem. So it initial value is 10. Then what you have to do, first 10 greater than 1. Yes, 10 is printed. And if you increase 10 to 11, 11 greater than or equal to 1. Yes, so if you do this, what happens, it will become 12, 13, 14, even it will become 1 lakh. 1 lakh greater than 1. Yes, it will print again. So if you run this example, your code will be running infinitely. Your code will run infinitely. Why? Because you are incrementing. You should not increment, you should decrease it. Because 10 is greater than 1, always 10 is greater than 1. So for that reason, what I have to do, instead of incrementing it, I should decrement it. So when you decrement it, it becomes 9, 8, 7. So when it becomes 1, 1 greater than equal to 1, yes, it is equal to 1. When 1 becomes minus, 1 becomes 0, then 0 greater than 1, no, it fails. Then we will be printing 10 to 1. That is the plan. Okay, come here and remove this I extra I here. Escape. Try this now. This time sh example 2. Enter. See 10 to 1 in reverse we are printing. Hope you are understanding. And next thing, that is about while loops. Next, try to understand basic understanding some other things, other topic in shell scripting, that is functions. Functions are methods. We can say functions are method, both are same. In other languages also we have functions and methods. So functions, why we use functions or methods? In normally, if you take any language, not only shell scripting, if you take any language, we will have functions and methods or methods. So what they do? So actually, whenever you want something, like I will make it, I will write it down. Whenever we want to repeat a task, okay, repeat a task for multiple times, then we can, okay, use functions. Okay, so you can think as a for example, if you see here, you can think read as a function, you can think read as a method or function, you can think as it as a read or a function, sorry, method or a function, anything you can think. So it is a function kind of. So what is function? What we are passing to this function? A value we are passing. So what this function will do? It will read the value whatever entered by the user. That is the job of this function. So that means whenever you want to read some value from the console, from here on, from the console, whenever you want to read some value from here, then we have the self scripting has provided a function, ready-made function called read. And suppose whenever you want to write something on the console, I want to output, I generated some output on the screen, then we have a already pre-written function called echo. Echo is a function. Its job is that whatever you want to print on the on the console, it will print it. These are all ready-made available functions. So you no need to reinvent a new function, or no need to write any special thing to print out the text to the console. We have already available. You can use them. You can use them. But in case you want to write your custom functions, as per your requirement, you want to write some custom functions, then we will write our own, what do you call, our own functions. uh, Shibin is on leave today, seems. Okay. So whenever you want to write your own custom functions, then we can, that also we can do it. Let's try some things. So for example, I will write a function. How to write a function, we'll see. For example, I will put something like writing a function. Okay. Here I want to repeat. First of all, you have to say, you have to mention like function. When you say function like this, then your shell script understands that, okay, you want to write his own custom function. Then you can write your name, something, display name, something, some, you can give any name, you can give any name, but in the beginning you have to say function, so that your shell scripting understands, your bash shell script will understand what you are going to do. And put a bracket over here. And then same like in other languages, you can write begin, you like begin. Okay. And then this is the end, and in this you will get all the write the instructions are statements. Whatever you want to do, you can write inside it. Here you can write function. One moment, please. Here you can write function name. You can give any name, no problem, and write the instructions. And then after that, call the above function. Okay, how can you call it? Why we have to call it? I will explain. I will explain. Here you have to call like using the function name. Then this function, when you mention the same function name here, then whatever instructions written inside this function will be executed one by one. For example, if you see here I'm saying I'm doing what here? Echo word I'm saying. Echo word means this is a function name. I'm calling the function name, and I'm passing some argument to this function. Then echo is a function, is a code written. It is written somewhere in the Linux OS. That function will be executed automatically. We cannot see it. Similarly, here we are going to write our own function, but we can see it. We can see it. And how to use it? Just call a function name like echo, like read. How we are calling, same way we have to call it with the name. So, for example, now what I will do, this is a function, display is a function name. Okay, and here I'll say it's not mandatory, but make a habit of writing it. Shabang, you write the Shabang here. Display function name. Okay, here what instruction I want today? I will say echo. This is a function uh, name. I will say the same name. I will say, okay, and something. I will put in double quotation. And this line I want to print. For that printing it, simply you can say display. You just copy this name and paste here. That's all. That's all you have to do. You see the syntaxes. Function name is a keyword. It's a keyword. You have to write it, and any name you can give. See, you may be thinking, why to write? I can write simply this single line is enough, right? I can write this simply. That's all. This is complete thing is not required. It's not required. Done. Job done. But thing is that suppose it having only one line, but if you have some 20 lines, 30 lines, okay, normally functions should have 15 to 20 lines maximum. Again, if you are increasing the function size lines to from 20 to 40, 50 like that, then better you split that function again into different functions. It's a good thing to write any function. Mostly 15, 20 lines is more than enough. Okay, don't write multiple lines. If at all, if a requirement came and you want to write a function, then maximum you try to write 15, 20 lines, and if it is increasing, then plan accordingly and increase and split that function itself into multiple functions. Anyway, that is another topic. But here you see, when I say display name, what will happen? We'll see that first. I'll say expired. This has been expired. Let's see. So in functions, if you have any questions, let me know, please. I will explain it again. Now let's write a function. So vi function 1 dot sh, insert the function now. So here if you see carefully, what I'm doing here, display name is a function name. Just calling the with the name, that's all. And whatever content inside that function will be displayed. Let's try that. Escape. So display, sorry, sh function 1 dot sh. You see the content. This is a function display name. The content has displayed. Now suppose if you see the advantage of functions, if you, for example, if you go to another one, sorry, insert. Now if I say display again, suppose if I call the same name again and third time also, so that means you can call the function anytime, as many times you want. Now see, three times we are able to print it, the same statement. The function called three times, and three times the same statement is printed. What is the meaning of that? So like echo, we called echo whenever we want to display some text to the console, we called echo multiple times. Similarly, in real time, whenever you're doing any writing any function, these instructions may be required to use multiple locations. As of now, it having only three lines. Okay, as of now, it having only three lines. Suppose assume, suppose these are some important instructions. I'm just dummy lines I'm writing. Suppose these three lines are important. So whenever you want, if you write it one location, one place in one function, if you write them, then you no need to repeat these statements again and again. For example, assume we don't have a function, then in your shell scripting, these three lines are required at 10 different locations. Then you will write these 10 instructions, these three lines in 10 different locations. That means 10 into 3 means 30 times you will write these instructions at 10 when you when you check, you have used the same instructions in different location of your shell script. You might be using it multiple locations, right? For example, here you write a shell scripting. For example, here line 1, line 1 and line 2. Okay, now you want those three lines. Now these three lines you want to use now. So here use those three lines instructions, and after that, what you do, after that you write, continue your shell scripting writing some line 5 or 4 something, line 6. Again you want to those three instructions somewhere in the universal scripting. Again you will use those three instructions here. So what happens? Three instructions means what? Three lines you have to type here. Instruction 1, instruction 2, instruction 3. Here also you have to write instruction 2, instruction 3. All instructions you have to repeat it. Instead of doing that, you simply can do like something like this. So just call the function name. So wherever you want those instructions, just call the function name. That's all. So like that, you can repeatedly, whenever you call function, then you no need to write those three lines again and again, or 5 lines or 10 lines. The count can be anything. But one thing you should understand, we use functions whenever you want to repeatedly use that functionality. If you want to use this behavior, you want this functionality at multiple locations, you will get idea. Okay, I am going to use these instructions at multiple locations. Better I will make it as a function, so that I can call the function wherever I require. That way you have to plan. Okay, hope you got the idea. Okay, that is about functions. Now in functions also we have different ways we can use. For example, let's try another function. For example, vi function 3.sh. For example, here what I will do, we write a case 2, read a file name, then print the content of that file. So you know how to print a file content. You know what command we use? We use cat command. Cat and file name, right? We use cat and file name. So you know that. So using this cat, how can you write a function? Simply you can say function, okay, something you say read display file content, something like display file content. This is a function. Okay, begin, and here you write the instruction. First of all, echo. Okay, let's ask the user enter the file name to read. Then you read the file name. Whatever he enters, you read. We have a function already. We have a function called read function already available. Okay, give some file name. File name is automatically a file name variable located. Okay, then next what? Simply is a cat file name. But file name, how to fetch it? Dollar file name. Then the function is completed, right? So you write closing bracket and then call your function. Who you call? Display file content, right? So display, that's it. So when you call this function starts executing every line. First line it will come, next read, next the content will be printed. Very simple. So try this statement. Now sh function read.sh. It is asking enter the file name. So I will give the same file name. What is the problem? No problem, right? Function 3 only I will give. I want to read the content of this script itself. So simply say fun3.sh, fun3.sh. You see the content is displayed. Whatever we wrote, the content is displayed here. So the cat command simply displayed the content of that file. Something like this, cat, and here I want to display content of while, right? While one.sh. Now cat will do what? Give the file name, it will display content of this file. Enter. What is saying? There's no such file. Sorry, file x1. Oh, sorry, x1 is not there. So remove it and enter. See, the content has came. Nothing special we did. Nothing special we did. Cat is job of the cat only. But only thing is that here we provided manually the file name. There we using the script we are providing the file name. That's the only difference. Now something I want to instead of running this command like this, shell fun here I will say, here only I will say I want to say file name. Here only I want to display the file name. That means argument. I want to provide in the argument itself I want to provide. If I write here the file name, instead of previously it is asking enter the file name. I don't want to that. I simply say file script name and our file name which it has to read. This way I want to do. Then what we do? Then what we have to do? Okay, here read the file name from command line argument, right? You know that $1 gives you the first argument name, right? The same thing we are going to use now. I will say here simply echo, sorry, here first file name, right? File name is a variable. Okay, is a variable equal to $1. You know $1 what it is do. I explained in the beginning. $1 will give the first argument value. That is nothing but your file name function, and here read file name and the beginning of the file function. Simply to display, right, content you have to display, simply say cat dollar. Cat requires what? File name only. The file name is in which variable? File name dollar file name, you say. That's all simple. Here call the function read. Small, very simple program. 4.sh insert mode escape sh 4.sh. So I am not, I forgot to give the file name, right? I will say function 3.sh is the file name. One moment, please. Function 4 space function 3.sh content. I want to see the content of function 3.sh. Okay, now it is the argument, first argument. Okay, enter. you see the function 3 argument is displaying. This is the content of the function 3. Or you can say cat test.txt file. Okay, enter. This is a new file, okay, created for testing. Okay, control C. Now I will use the same command, that is sh. This time I will say test.txt. You see the content. This is the new file created for testing. So like that we have to write functions. Okay, so using the commands like Linux, you can use the Linux commands in your shell scripting. So suppose I want to create a file, right? Create a file. Okay, create a file. Okay, if and the condition is what? If file already exists, display message accordingly, or else create the file. So what further what you have to do? Simply you have to say program echo enter the file name. Whatever you file you entered, you will read it. File name. And you know we have if statement. In the if statement we'll check. Okay. Here we have to provide -y. -y is a argument you have to provide to the if statement. So when you say -y, it will create a file. If you want to create a directory or a folder, then you have to say -d. So -y when you say, and then in a double quotation, you say the file name is in where? In file name variable, right? It is a variable name. Okay. Close this, and then if file name, it will check if file name exists or not. If it already exists, then simply echo, okay, dollar file name is already exists, something I want to give a message. Or else if it does not exist, then what I have to do? What I have to do? Else echo, okay, I'm saying file does not exist. Creating the file. Okay. And then how to create a file? Touch, we can use touch, right? Touch is a command we already learned. And file name, touch requires the file name. File name is stored in a variable file name. So how to get it? Dollar file name. That's it. And then what? End the loop, the file. So is file name, if file name already exists, if a file is existing, then it already it will print this message. If it does not exist, it will create a file. Let's try this. Okay. Vi file create file dot sh. Insert mode is the content. Escape. Now sh create file. Enter. It's saying touch. It's saying missing file operand. It's saying missing file operand. What is that? Let's try to understand. What is the issue? Okay, where is the mistake? I am file name. Can you try? What is the issue?
Yeah, there you mentioned DH read.
Yeah, on the top you can see read H file name.
Ah, sorry. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Insert mode and delete it. Escape. Clear the screen. Run the command. Enter the file name. I will say a new file. New file. .sh. Sorry. .txt. I want to create this file. File does not exist. Creating the file. Okay. ls. Check whether it's created or not. Yes, it is created. Now again I want to run. Sorry. Now second file. File does not exist, it has been created. Ls second file is created. Now again, let's try this to create a same file, that is second file. Second file is already exists. This way you can create. And another example, you just use D here, that's all, and everything is remaining are same. And creating touch, you can use what? To create a directory, it is for touch is for creating what? Our files. But how to create a directory?
mkdir.
That's all, right? Simple. Or else let me try this as well, very simple. Vi create var.sh insert mode. Here you should say insert mode. Let's go to, okay, I'm already insert mode. Here name, directory name. Here you say mkdir, remove the touch command, and here directory name, that's a variable name. You have to give your variable name dir, and here enter the directory. That's all. Okay, so directory name, here instead of f you have to say d. That's all. That is change you have to do. Remove this and set d. That is the only change we have to make. Remaining, make directory -d. That's all, simple. Escape sh. So new dir, enter. It's saying syntax. Okay, syntax is line number 11. So let's open it. Hi, anybody? What is the issue? Can anybody tell what is the issue could be? Got any idea?
I think we need to give recursive, if I am not wrong.
Sorry.
We need to give recursively for creating directories for permissions like that. It will be restricted on.
Uh, that could not. That is, I believe there is syntax issue somewhere. Syntax issue.
Syntax.
Try somebody. Syntax issue is very simple, right? Come down here. It is if. It should be f5. That's all. F5. Okay, that's my mistake. So now it's created. Yes, now create dir. Enter the directory name. I will say new dir. Directory does not exist, creating the directory. So when you say ls, you see new directory is created here. Okay, if I try to create the same directory again, so new dir, so new dir is already exists. So this way we can work with shell scripts. So that is the last example. So we have lot. So in real time we'll get different scenarios if you get chance of working with shell scripting. Otherwise we mostly use Ansible. Otherwise we use mostly Ansible. So using shell scripting, we can also connect to our AWS cloud. We can also connect to our AWS cloud. Okay, but anyway, uh, that's not a big deal. But no, that anyway we have a topic called AWS CLI. In that also we can use. For example, if you want to connect to our what do you call? So give me 5 minutes. I will explain that as well. It is a simple thing. What we are doing here. Yeah. So let's try that as well. Simple example. Connecting to AWS cloud. Okay, using shell script. Okay. Then for that, what we have to do? For example, my requirement is display all the S3 buckets. S3 buckets. How can I do? I got a requirement. In the requirement, I got a requirement saying that display all the S3 buckets or display all the IAM users. This is the requirement I got, for example. Okay, I want this I want to do. So then what I can do? So okay, first of all, how can I connect to the cloud? So to connect to the cloud, normally, uh, first I will show the correct wrong way, but the correct way I will explain you that you can practice. That is your assignment. Okay, the wrong way is that, so on the top right side my name is showing here. Click it down and we have security credentials here. Click on the security credentials. Okay, so when you go to our cloud, whenever you want to connect, okay, steps, you have to write create uh, uh, run below command, run command to connect, to configure for connecting to AWS cloud. So what that we have to do, AWS configure, you have to type a command called AWS command. So when you do that, what will happen, you see, clear the screen, AWS configure. It's saying AWS access key. It's asking for AWS access key ID. Where we can get it? See, I will explain this when I'm talking about a topic called AWS CLI. AWS CLI, we have a separate topic for that. But here I quickly explain you. Yeah, so that we can get it from Madan DevOps. Click on security credentials. We get this page. Just scroll down. We have create access key is the option available. Access key. But see, I am a root user. Why it is a wrong way? Because normally we, very rare case, we will create a access key using the root as a root user. But normally what is a good practice, always you have to create access key basic for that user based access key you have to create. I will show you that in a moment. Create access key, click on this. You never should use a root access. You see, user access keys are not recommended. Okay, but for this demo I'm creating it. Okay, check this box, create access. Why you should not use? Because as you know, he is a root user, he can do anything, whatever you want to do, he can do it using our console. Here from here you can do anything. So create access key. When you create access key, we have access key and a secret key. If you display this, we have a secret key. Okay, so if anybody have this information, they can do anything on my account. They can do anything on my account. Okay, so first of all, copy this access, copy this, and here, okay, in the screen, create access key and secret access key. Okay, so I got a access key. Now what I will do, go to the console and I paste that access key here, enter. Now it will ask AWS secret access key. Then again go to a console and copy this secret access key and paste it here. Now default region, which region you are working? We are working in Mumbai region. What is the region name? AP hyphen South 1 is the region name. AP South 1. Enter. Default output format you can give table format, other formats, but as of now I am not interested. Just enter. That's it. Now a connection is established now. A connection is established now. Then what I will do? Vi AWS commands dot sh. Here insert mode. First command is AWS S3 I want to list, and then ls. AWS space S3 the resource name, and then ls. Ls will list all the commands. That means here in the comment you can say list all the S3 buckets. Then again you can have say list all the users, IAM users. So this you can say something like no AWS. Okay, how to list a IAM list? It was IAM list users. So we have documentation for all these commands. I will show you in a moment. So S3 ls and AWS IAM list users. These commands will display you the list of users. Also, if you want, I want to see list of EC2 instances. Then for that, we have a command called AWS EC2. Okay, EC2 space describe instances. Okay, then these three I want to display. Now save this and now run the command sh AWS commands. Users are empty. So this is our instance detail. This is instance. This is our instance ID. Okay. So description will be lengthy actually. That is the reason you got a colon here, and if you press down arrow, you will get all the description like that about our instance. Everything in VPC, the VPC, everything, whatever it is connected to, who is the owner ID, what is the registration ID, everything it will show here. Okay. So Control C. Now if you go upside, if you scroll up, we have users list, and where is the S3 details. So what I will do to just clear this, Control C, just go to that our command. No, one moment please. Sometimes it stucks when you are using AWS commands sometimes, but it's okay. What I will do, go to the commands will not show actually. It is working, but commands will not show. No problem. Give me another 5 minutes, please. Almost I'm done. Just we will see the output and we will wind up. Only 5 minutes, nothing more than that. Already left. Even I promise. Okay. Now, yes. Here's the screen. ls. Okay. What is the function which we just now created? AWS cloud. Okay. Vi AWS. Open it. ls. I want to comment this. Insert mode. I want this comment out. This one first thing. It's a very lengthy output. I'm commenting out. Escape. Right. And again sh AWS. Now let's see what it display. It says that users are empty and there are no users, there is no S3 bucket. Then what I will do quickly, very quickly, what I will do, I will type IAM. Okay, let's create a user. Create user. I'll say RAM. Next. Okay, no policies as of now. Next, and create user. So actually, the wrong way I showed you. Here I've created a security group and I selected the access key and secret access key. But normally user, from the user we have to, whenever user connecting to the shells user want to use the commands, then that user has to use his own access keys, because RAM will have his own permissions, right? So only those activities he can do, whatever permissions given to RAM, only those he can do by running the shell script. So previously what I did, I used the root user credentials. That is wrong. I have to use RAM user credentials. Come down. If you come down here, security credentials are there. Click on it. you come down carefully, if you observe, here we have access keys. So when you click on create access key now, then only RAM's access credentials we will use and connect him. So whatever RAM having the permissions, only those activities he can do using the shell script. So in real time, we will create access keys for the users, based on the users we create them, not for the root user. Anyway, this topic I will explain again when I teach you AWS CLI. Here again, Sita or something, Raghu. Simply next, next, and create user. Okay, two users are there. Next, what I will do? S3, go to S3 bucket, and then here I will say, I'm sorry. Here I click on S3, quickly create one bucket. Create a bucket. New bucket. March 1, 2024. Then uncheck this one so that we can access it publicly, and come create bucket. That's all. That's all. Let's try to run this command. Now same command let me run now. You see a new bucket is created. The bucket name is new bucket, March 1, 2024. And users, you see Raghu is one user and Ram is another user. So this way, using shell scripts, we can even connect to our cloud, AWS cloud. There are different ways actually to connect to our cloud, but for that we use Terraform, Ansible again. But anyway, there is a way using shell script also we can connect. Please let me know if you have any questions. We are done with Linux now. These are the basic commands, and we require to work in real time. These are enough actually. But in case if you not if you want to work, if you got a requirement to work with a different kind of Linux commands, anyway you can easily Google it out. Like us, even we are experienced, we also Google it out whenever we get a different kind of requirement. But to start the journey in as a DevOps engineer, the Linux whatever information required that we have covered. Please let me know if you have any questions here. I will wait for 10 seconds. If you have no questions, then we'll wind up. And tomorrow we will be sending you a link to join for Monday session. Okay, then. Thank you for your time. We'll meet on Monday morning. Okay, have a weekend, good weekend. Thank you. Take care.